Now to the cruise nightmare, all of it caught on infrared video. Those very rare cases of passengers who go overboard. Tonight, hear one woman who went over the edge 7 stories down in the darkness of night. Bobbing in the water, she lived to tell. Here's ABC's Rena Ninan.
Nearly 18 million people took cruises last year, and if you were one of them, you probably stood at the ship's railing, enjoying the view, and wondered, even for a moment, what would happen if I went overboard? What you've probably never seen is a vacation video like this.
I remember looking over the water, looking at the ship, and the next thing I knew, I was falling.
Sarah Kirby is the woman in free fall on the video. It happened just over a year ago. She was on a 30th birthday cruise, Miami to Jamaica. Sarah, along with her fiancé and best girlfriend, are spending the first night of the trip bar hopping, ending up getting their drink on at the Point After nightclub.
Everybody was drinking to excess, and I was enjoying it with everybody on the cruise.
And honestly, you got pretty drunk that night.
Yes, ma'am. We decided to leave the bar, go back to our room. The next thing I remember is going out on the balcony.
It's 12 minutes past midnight. 1 second, she's holding the rail of deck 7. The next, she's plunging straight down to the unforgiving sea. A shipboard camera recorded it all. She plummets about 2 stories, slamming into a lifeboat, then dropping another 5 stories into the water.
It's pitch black outside. You're in the middle of the ocean, all alone.
I was so scared, and I was gonna do everything in my power to survive.
But she's badly hurt, broken bones in her face, fractured ribs, and a torn artery.
I remember being in a lot of pain, so I would swim for a little bit, and then I would be out of breath, and I would float in the water with my face up, but then the water would crash into my mouth, and I would choke.
10 minutes pass. They feel like hours, and all Sarah sees is the ship sailing away towards the horizon.
As you watch the ship fade away in the distance, what's going through your mind?
Words can't even describe the feeling I felt at that moment. I just prayed to God over and over, please don't let me die out here.
It's actually one of the rarest events that happens on cruise ships. The rate of 1 overboard for every 1,650,000 passengers.
Cruise industry lawyer Larry Kay is correct. Few people go overboard, and yet, in the past 3 weeks, it happened on no less than 5 different ships.
You don't get blown or swept off of a cruise ship. It does not happen. All of these incidents, unfortunately, are accompanied by some reckless or deliberate act.
Sarah can't say exactly why she fell, but alone in the water, it didn't really matter.
Were you panicky?
I was most definitely panicking a lot.
And did you have a sense that someone knows that you're overboard?
I prayed that somebody had saw me.
Her best friend, as well as another passenger, alert the crew right away. And of course, the ship's camera had recorded the whole thing.
Why wouldn't the captain just turn around right away?
I think that's the million-dollar question.
Kirby's lawyer, Michael Winkleman, claims Carnival Cruise Line personnel searched the ship for nearly 20 minutes before informing the captain.
The vessel should have been stopped. They should have been throwing life rings overboard so that she could have grabbed onto one, and they should have immediately gone and looked at the video.
According to Carnival Cruise Line's own records, it's 12:36 before anyone sees the video. Sarah's been in the water for 24 minutes, petrified of sharks and trying to stay afloat.
Things would sweep across my foot in the water, and I would just try to continue swimming and not focus on that.
When you fall overboard, God forbid, and you disappear in the dark, in the deep waters, no one is going to see you.
Maritime lawyer James Walker has seen this sort of thing before. He makes a living suing cruise lines.
They may have a closed-circuit television camera on the deck, but it's not monitored and it's not connected to an alarm.
Walker is representing the family of Jason Rapay, a man who didn't survive when he went overboard off another ship.
The way systems work now is there's no detection system. The ships will continue to sail on for 2 or 3 hours.
By the time the Coast Guard searched for Jason, they couldn't find a body. But in Sarah Kirby's case,
folks, I have some very good news. We have found.
The video gave them a specific time and place. It's 1:43 a.m. when Sarah is spotted, an hour and 31 minutes after she fell.
The relief of seeing something in the ocean other than me was unbelievable that something was out there that could help me.
And we are now bringing her back on board the vessel.
1:53 a.m., she's back on board. What would it take to make rescues at sea happen faster?
What we have here is a camera, a laser sensor, and we have software that is running on the screen behind us.
Dave Leone says his company, Radio Zealand, has got a ship-shaped system already.
So I guess you need someone to jump off the boat to demonstrate this.
If you're up for it.
To see how it works,
Gotta put this on?
Sure.
I will take the plunge.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
By the time I hit the water, an alarm is sounding, and the system indicates exactly where I went overboard.
From this demonstration, it seems like it works, so why don't cruise ships use it?
That's a question we've been asking.
The vendors of these systems are very anxious to bring them to market. You can have birds set it off. You can have debris of any kind floating in the air, set it off. These detection systems are not perfected.
Obviously, this demonstration was on a boat, not a giant cruise ship, and on calm water. Carnival Cruise Line, the industry's largest, tells 2020 extensive testing at sea has yet to reveal any system that meets its standards. In fact, few ships have one. Our parent company Disney tells 2020 it does have the technology on its ships. As for Sarah, she's recovering, but even though the ship saved her life, she hired a lawyer and is suing.
You're suing a cruise line that did ultimately rescue her within a short period of time, and she was, by her own admission, intoxicated. Is this suit really fair?
Absolutely, 100% fair. What Carnival did was wrong. They overserved her alcohol, and when she went overboard, they had awful policies and procedures in place. What's the point in having a camera if there's no one there watching it?
In a statement to 2020, Carnival Cruise Line says that the claims in this suit are completely unsupported and contradicted by the evidence in the case.
I call it sail and sue. We deal with it all the time. I think cruise ships are probably the safest vacation option available to most people. For me, the only safer vacation option would be in my backyard.
No word if Sarah's next vacation will be in her backyard, but it's a sure bet she won't be cruising again anytime soon.